Can you hear me now?
No, I don't have my earphones on.
She doesn't have her earphones on. That's why I'm not a singer.
Hello. You sing pretty good.
No, I sing. No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
I sound good in the shower.
You sound good. You sound pretty good.
That's about it, though. All right. You ready? I really don't know what we're going to talk about, to be perfectly honest with you.
Sometimes we don't talk about what you have going over there anyhow.
Well, it's just been one of those things. All right.
That's me.
Okay.
I just said, got your muffins.
You're listening to the podcast where we talk about life, sports, family, and everything in between. Welcome to Just Talking Out Loud with your hosts, Ron and Terry.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Just Talking Out Loud. I'm Ron.
And I'm Terry.
Happy to have you with us on this podcasting journey that Terry and I have
Decided to go on.
decided to do 3 years ago.
Has it been that long already?
It's our third season, believe it or not. Now, our first season was
And
shortened.
so we started right before Fan was born?
Yes. Yep. But, yeah, so it's been quite the journey, and we have people that have followed us.
You've been talking about doing it for years before that.
I know. And then sometimes I think, what am I doing? I mean, it's tough to come up sometimes. Like right now, we've been so busy. I've had a hard time coming up with just finding things because we have other things we're trying to do. Like, here's the thing about summer. I'm going to ask you this question.
Mainly.
Well, we're spring.
Spring because you have to clean up the yard. You start mowing.
Yeah.
You have to get the pool open. I like to plant a garden. We get 2 grandchildren now that I'm watching and going to Pittsburgh for. And, spring is like once everything's open, then you get into a routine. It's not so bad. But
Yeah, it's just, I think with winter, you're cooped up, right? So you're trying to find things to do, but in summer, and here's the thing about summer that I was thinking about is you do all this work, you get the pool, we finally got the pool started and it's running. And I mean, we still have a little ways to go with that. Not really, but now it's all the things that, like in the winter, you don't have all that worry. Now you got grass that's constantly needing cut, and you got the pool and just summer stuff, like you said. And a lot of it is just my own doing of just being
having to have it done right now.
Yeah, because we busted.
You won't wait 2 days to do something. You think it does now. You have to have it done now.
Well, I'm trying to get to the point where I can relax.
Bother you.
Things do bother me. I wish they didn't, but they do. I don't like having, like, I tried to fix the pool, and did I fix it? No, it's still leaking.
Is it?
Yeah, still leaking. So I did all that work, ran back and forth to Home Depot 3 times. You okay there? You good? Yeah. Like you weren't going to hear that. You did it right in the mic.
I didn't. I didn't even know it was there.
Oh, you didn't know it was there. But anyway.
It was an air bubble. 3
trips. I'll tell you what has to happen. And it's not going to happen this year, but it's going to happen, is we're going to have to replumb that. That whole thing needs replumbed. And a new multi-port, because that's what's wrong.
You
the
think
earth
that's
is going
what's
through.
leaking it?
So we changed that.
But is it on the filter or on the?
The big tank is fine. You just take it off. You just take the multi-port off and you hook it up to the big tank, and then you have to run all the lines. But all the lines are just rigged so bad because it wasn't done right the first time.
Is that by our pool guy?
Yes, because when they did the heater, instead of having bypasses and shutoffs, it ran constantly in the heater. Well, guess what? The heater rusted out. The very first one we had it for a long time, but it finally rusted out. This one, which is a 10 times better heater, I have the shutoffs now, but it's how I had to do it is you got to use flex and you've got regular pipe, and it just needs to be redone. But I'm not a plumber. I tried to do that, and I had a heck of a time just doing that little piece, 2 little pieces and an elbow. That's all I had to do. And is it working? No, it's leaking. So I'm not a plumber, nor am I a lot of things for some reason. I'm just not a lot of, who knows?
You worked with a plumber for a while.
I work with a plumber and
And
you
an
would-
electrician.
An electrician. I did learn a lot of stuff like electricity.
You actually went to school for electrician.
Yes, I did. I can do some things electrical. I'm not afraid of it.
Now, like
Plumbing, I just can't. I can't do it. I just can't do it. So I don't know what. I don't know how. I may have to call Ralph. Does Ralph listen to this
I know.
podcast? Probably not. Ralph, if you're listening,
Who
put it on
else-
your
who
chart
else might do
next
plumbing?
year. I don't know. A plumber. I just don't want to pay a plumber.
Well, some people that remodel do plumbing.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know if he'd want to tackle
Yeah, I
that.
know. I don't know if they would want to tackle that, but
Our shower's coming along
they might. Yep.
really well.
Mhm,
I'm
it is.
really excited. We're getting close.
Did you call the?
No, I text her, but she never texts me back. So I'm
Did she
thinking
probably doesn't know who you need?
well, I said
Did
my
you say-
name,
did
but
you
I'm
say-
probably going to have to call.
The small bathroom. Say the small
I
bathroom.
did. I
Oh,
said
you
that,
did.
but
Okay.
they could have done. Who knows how many bathrooms before
Well, she
that?
might have a full week this week, and she's going to try and fit you in. After
Yeah.
they're done.
So, yeah, you can tell how much I'm really struggling to come up with. Do you have anything you want to talk about? Something you might have done that's people would want to hear. Not that we talk about really anybody wants to hear, but to be honest,
all my complaints are traffic now.
no, not complaints. I mean, is there anything that how many phone? Here, I'll ask you this: how many phone numbers do you actually remember? Without because now you don't have to remember numbers.
I don't. I've cleared them from my head.
They're gone. Like if you had to call me, you didn't have your
Well, I
phone.
don't know if Paula still has her landline. If she does, it's the same from high school. I remember that number.
Okay, because I remember our old phone number. That's
I
easy to
do.
remember.
I do too. But they took it from us now because we had it on a What did we have it on? We had it on a
What's that? What do you mean, the phone numbers?
Yeah, we had our home phone on another line
Oh,
on
the
a
landline.
cell the landline. We put it on a
And then we put it on a cell phone,
and
one of
then
those
track phone.
track phones.
And the track phone ran out, and they didn't let us know, and they just turned it off.
Well, let us know. I just didn't want to pay. It was I don't know. It's kind of because you had to switch it over from 3G to a.
So we should have changed it to my cell phone number or your cell phone number and just kept that number.
Yeah, we probably should have. We still can. The number's still available. It's still
Is
ours.
it? I don't know. I don't know if it is because
I think it is.
like I've gotten on my cell phone, my brother's phone is now being used by being used by someone else, and so is Elizabeth's.
So if you had to count how many phone numbers you remember,
Of course, they're both deceased, so
would it be on one hand? Like how many you might remember? Like you
Yeah.
might know the
Yeah,
kids,
probably.
right? Zachary's
Yeah.
is the hardest one. I can't remember. And although
I can't remember it because it doesn't go with ours. I think
I know yours.
2,
Yeah.
2, 6, 3, 5.
I don't. You don't have to give them out. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think I can.
So you probably are kids.
I might transpose a number in there.
Yeah.
In like RJ's and Nathan's.
Yeah. But
And
yeah,
I kind of know Janet's cell number because she's had it for a long time.
so I just I don't. This came up and I was like, how many numbers do I remember? And I bet it's only. I'm not even sure. Not even sure I remember the kids. To be honest with you, it's been so long since I've actually had to dial. You know,
If I broke my phone and couldn't get into the numbers, I would to like change them over to another.
it'd be like starting all over.
Oh
again.
yeah, I would be like going through your phone to see if I got anyone who knew, like But like my friends, I don't think you have them in like.
No, I don't have some of them.
Like I would have to call Bob to get Dottie's number. from your phone.
Gino, I have Gino's, so I can.
And I would
we can
have
do
to
that.
call Gino to get Paula's number from him. Yeah, I would have to. Yeah.
I wonder how many people out there. Maybe you can answer this, and you can always maybe get a hold of us. I wonder how many people, like, do they actually write the numbers down? You know, like you used to put in a
had
phone
a book. Yeah, I had a
Well, you
whole
still
book
have it.
of
It's
them.
still there.
I do.
But
Yeah,
I
I have
wonder-
it, but I don't think any of those numbers are still
Well,
working.
is it viable? But I'm wondering if like people get a new number and they put it in their phone, do they actually
write it down any place.
I
don't.
No, I don't either.
I just put it in my phone and forget about it.
And I was even thinking like a password. Do you take that password and do you write it down somewhere?
We've tried
I have. I've started writing things down.
Because we're like, oh, what password would we use for that?
Right. I started writing things down because I'm getting old.
Yeah.
I'd barely remember my name in the morning. It takes me a little while. I roll over, I go, oh, who's that? And then I touch you in different places and you slap me and then we realize where I'm at. That's how that works. Okay, so that's a couple questions I have for the wonderful people out there. How many phone numbers do you actually remember? Oh, the other thing too, passwords. How do you remember your passwords? Do you have them in a little book?
You have notes on your phone that you could put them in.
I know, but like you said, if you lose the phone or the phone goes bonkers,
you're done.
Now, supposedly the cloud has all our information. The cloud
has our information.
Also, I want to ask how many pictures are in your phone and how many do you actually look at? Like, do you look at them constantly?
I have last year's Florida pictures, which I was going to print and put in a book for Zach and Sarah for, the day we went and did things.
Do you actually look at them?
No, they're just like kind of in the way now, but I need to either have a book made or print them and put them in that Explore book I have upstairs or something. But I don't have, you can't just go, and it costs a lot to just print them, doesn't it?
Well, we have that little drive. I'll have to see, because I don't know how to put it. RJ figured out how to put some of them on there. What if he could take them all and put them on that drive, and then we can take that drive to the computer, but we have to print them ourselves like my mom does. He prints all those pictures for us. You could print out the ones you want, and we could do that.
Yeah, because I was just going to try and figure out which ones I wanted to print.
Because I have a lot of pictures of the kids I'd like to print out, that are really cool pictures. I don't know how many grandparents are out there.
She sent me more snaps today.
Oh, on the Snap. But you can never get them back.
I know.
We had Fen on. I hadn't seen him in 2 weeks. Terry has, because she's been babysitting. But I hadn't seen him since we went to the hospital. And he came over Sunday, and we played and played and played and played and played and played.
And he cried and over halfway home.
Cried, Pa's house. Cried all the way up the street. You can hear him. The neighbors are all looking. Beefy's over there going, what's going on there, Ron? I said, he doesn't want to leave. He doesn't. Grandma, though, I love this. Tell the story. He has a new way now of when you have to. Now, for Terry, he lets her go, but he has a new method.
Yesterday, he told me, not yet, Grandma. I said, okay. We were playing Hot Wheels at the time. She got done, though. So, we played their Hot Wheels for a little while. And then I said, are you going to let Grandma go? And he goes, yeah. He says, I help you. And he grabs my lunch box and my lunch bag, and he has a strap, and he goes, I help you. And I said, thank you. You're so sweet, and everything. And we get to the front door, and his mom caught on that he was helping me all the way to the car. And he was getting in the car with me to go see Pa. And she said, oh, no, you're not going outside, because it was really nice outside. And number one, she knew he wouldn't come back in.
Right.
And she needed to mess with Beckett right then. She says, I have to take care of baby. You go say bye to Grandma in the back window, because he goes back to the back window and he waves out and he blows you kisses out the window, and it's so sweet. So we go around the side of the house and into the back where I park, and I always look up at the window. He's
outside?
No, he was inside, but he started crying as soon as she caught on that he wanted to help me all the way to the car, because he's like, but I go, Pa, and he wanted to go to Pa's house because he knew, because I always say I have to go home and cook dinner for Pa. And so he knows, okay, Daddy comes down the stairs. Pa must come home right around the same time.
He's not stupid.
And he's like, oh, Pa comes home every night from his job too.
So I can go.
And so he wanted to go home with me. So Yeah.
He had
And
a
he's
death
funny.
grip on that. That's
He
funny.
had a death grip, and she had to pry it out of his hands. And he didn't really cry that hard, but he was like, you could tell he was very disappointed that it didn't work because he was
Good try.
because he was thinking, well, if he got down there and cried with the death grip on I would just put him in his car seat and bring him home.
Oh, you got to give him
Kudos on
some
that.
kudos for that. That's pretty ingenious. Mm-hmm. I help you
I help
all
you.
the way down to the car. Mm-hmm. Then you
I
put
help
me in
you.
the car, and I'll just
Yeah.
know,
I'll help you
put
all the
you in
way
there.
home.
He's something else. Oh, he's a character. I'll see him on Friday, so that should be fun. Listen to him cry all the way. Although we're staying a little bit longer, maybe. I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah,
so
yeah, it depends
fine.
on what. Yeah, I
Whatever.
mean, we can if she wants to organize the dresser and stuff she got. You know,
Yeah, that's
we can
fine.
stay longer. I told her we can just
Sometimes
stop
I
and
I
get
don't.
dinner on
I'll
the way
be
home.
honest. Sometimes I don't mind staying a little longer, only because
The
traffic dies down. Mm-hmm. So I really don't mind. And it's Friday, and we've got Saturday and Sunday. And if I take Thursday off, then I'll have a 4-day weekend. Because after that, then I'm going to be busy. Diane's going on a cruise. She cannot wait to go.
Where's she going?
Alaska.
Oh,
She's
that'll
so
be nice
excited.
this time of year, I think.
But one of her suitcases is 4 pounds overweight.
So what she have to do?
So I said she's going to find a way to. It's probably some boots because she's got like boots and shoes and because you don't know
Well-
what you're going to get into with Alaska. You really don't.
Well, yeah, I know when Matt and Stephanie went for their honeymoon, they had rain
A
the
lot of
whole time. All their pictures, they have the rain gear in.
Yeah, so I'm excited for her because she's really looking forward to going on this trip, and I hope because Richie's worried that she's got her hopes up so high that
It's
he's
not gonna
worried
be
that it's
as-
not going to be as fun. But I
Well,
think
hopefully it won't rain the whole time, and they can have some sightseeing
correct.
and stuff.
They got a lot of stuff. She's going on a helicopter.
Oh, so
Yeah,
they paid
she's-
for some
she's got some-
off-road.
yep,
Oh,
she's-
that alone would be worth it. Although, if the weather's real bad, you wouldn't be able to see
Well,
out of the helicopter.
it just-
like
I guess
rain, like if it was thunderstorming.
Probably wouldn't even go up.
Yeah, probably
I would-
wouldn't.
Well, at least you would hope not anyway. Okay, let's get to one of the things before our break.
Okay.
This woman wants her boyfriend. The girlfriend wants her boyfriend to get a second job so she can be a stay-at-home girlfriend. She said that men are supposed to take care of their partners, and that he needs to get
Well, he could say the same thing to her.
this. And she's been slammed on social media. Her boyfriend revealed that she quit her job.
Oh, she went ahead and quit.
A couple months ago because she didn't like the toxic people, and she's refused to look for a new job since men are supposed to take care of their partners. However, this means he has to work overtime to make ends meet. That he revealed. She also wants him. She wants to be a stay-at-home girlfriend, and even told him he needs to get a second job to support this. So when he told her,
No, go get a part-time job or something to help him.
the man shared that he's been having to work overtime because she's not earning any money. And he said, I sternly brought up to her that she needs to find a job because I can't work all this overtime. It's hard to support himself, let alone her. And that's when she told him that there's no good jobs or really hiring at the moment. She also said that she was unable to work at her previous job because it was too mentally draining to work with toxic colleagues, and suggested that he get the second job because she wants to be a stay-at-home
Well, what if he has
girlfriend.
What if he
Not,
What if he has toxic colleagues too?
yeah, he might. Who knows? She said, I told her that she's insane for saying that. She doesn't find a job pretty soon. I'm going to break up with her. So she lost her crap and told me that we're the ones that are supposed to take care of her. Interesting, isn't it?
Well, I mean, that's great if you make the money to take care of them and they can stay home, especially when you have kids. I mean, it would make it easier to run kids and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it would be. But, I mean,
If you could afford it, but most, let's say 9 out of 10 jobs don't afford you the full amount to be able to, in the housing market right now, and the rent market is so high right now that you almost need 2 incomes.
yeah.
I mean, unless you're in an efficiency by yourself.
I just found it funny that she just has the the goads to say, yeah, get a second job and take care of
Because I'm
me
gonna stay
because you're
home.
supposed to. But I mean, I would think that you would try and help out.
I mean, I could see her trying to pull that if she had kids to him and said, hey, you're supporting us. But I mean,
Yeah, there's no kids. I mean,
yeah,
thankfully
thank goodness,
for right
yeah.
now. I don't know if he says he's having a hard enough time with all the overtime supporting himself. It's going to be just as hard to support a child. We all know how that goes.
I mean, if you got to get that kind of crap settled before you get married, because otherwise it's not going to work out, and you're going to end up even more debt for divorce and alimony and child support. And
Well, I mean, if you think about it, some jobs are like Aldi's. Some of them are paying $16 to $18 an hour.
yeah, for like
And I bet if she just said, "Well, can I do that part time?" You know what I mean, like to pick up some of the odds and ends, like for food, and maybe that would maybe take some weight off him. Maybe he wouldn't feel so bad.
yeah.
Right now, he's struggling to even love her, probably.
Yeah, I mean, go get something to help me out.
Yeah, help me out a little bit. So anyway, that's that story of a woman that says, "I want to be a stay-at-home girlfriend." Well, I'd like to be a stay-at-home grandpa, but that's not happening right now either. How often a day, if you had to pick a day?
Yeah, me and Fen did discuss you retiring. He thinks that you should retire.
Well, that's easier said than done.
He's
You didn't
like,
hit the
Grandma
lottery.
doesn't go to work anymore. And,
Right.
And I said, yeah, Grandpa gave up for Grandma to stay home. And
Did you hit the lottery? Because you played it.
I hit a few dollars, which I put back into it today.
Looks like Ron's still working then.
Yep.
A few dollars ain't going to do it.
Yeah, but it was still high. So, you know.
How much do you have any comfort during the day? Do you feel any comfort every day? Only 21% said they feel true comfort each day. Do you have any time of the day where
that I don't have to get up and run to Pittsburgh,
you feel comfort?
I take my time and do my reading, and I take some time with God, and I feel comfort. I feel like, you know.
But it's not all.
Well, because stores aren't open yet in the morning. I don't get up and make you breakfast. So that's my day. That's my mornings, like, of comfort. But I've always done my reading and stuff. It's usually I read and jumped up and either showered or got ready or packed a lunch or whatever I had to do to go to work and ran out the door. So it's just being able to take my time with it is nice.
Yeah. I wonder how many people out there that listen, like how much comfort are you able to be relaxed and find some comfort?
And I go to the bathroom better when I relax like that.
Yeah, Terry tells me about her bowel movements. And I had a good one. I relaxed today. I had some comfort.
Yeah.
I lost 2 pounds. You should have saw the size of that thing.
No, I don't tell you that, but I just like, but relaxing.
Here comes a picture. Ding,
relaxing does make a difference on things like that. It really does.
No, I do.
It really does.
There is something about, I can't go to the bathroom when Fenn's here. Because I get
he's
maybe
knocking on the door while you got 2 minutes. Drop it now.
No, I don't have 2 minutes. I have probably about 30 seconds. I get in there.
Till he decides that
and
you're
then he's
out
like,
of the
Paul. I'm like, man, oh, daisies. I know there's one in there.
And I tell him, leave him alone, let him go potty. And he's like,
he doesn't care.
He's like, no, Paul.
He's got all night to do that when I leave. He can do that later. It's playtime. But anyway, a fifth of Americans have experienced true comfort in the past 24 hours. According to this is a new survey. The poll reveals that true comfort, that feeling completely relaxed or at ease, comes to be hard. It's hard to come by at times. Only 21% say they've been able to reach this state. Now, it doesn't say like a particular, like you were saying, the mornings, like when you get up, you're kind of like, okay, I don't really have to
run. I don't have to run to right this minute.
I guess I would ask our folks that listen,
but
how do you find
feel like
comfort?
that once I get to Pittsburgh too. I mean, because once I get there, I have a routine. We get breakfast.
Yes.
We play for a little while. There's usually a bath involved in the morning.
Right.
And then we play a little bit, and we have lunch, and we have a routine. So it's comfortable. I just go with the flow.
I think you were right on the money. There's an anxiousness. Like I'll have this, even though and it's going to be fine.
If they lived across the street, I would have the comfort probably all the time because I wouldn't have to get in the car and have someone cut me off. And
we would not be having this podcast right now, or he'd be on with us.
Oh yeah, but if he lived right,
if
he lived, we already discussed this within walking distance.
Yeah, it would be tough.
He would escape from their house and come to our house.
He would come to Pa. You know where Pa's house is. But you're talking about that anxiousness, and I have that on Friday. It's that going on, on the trip there, and the traffic, and the people they're just nuts. People are freaking.
Oh, you get on the freeway some mornings and you're doing 65 in the slow lane, and you think you're going to get run over because they're like doing 85, 90 in the other lane, and I'm already going above the speed limit. What do you want from me?
And once I get there, like I said, like you said, then I'm fine. I'm relaxed. We're having fun. We're whatever he wants to do. Dinosaurs, beep beeps, which are cars. He might watch a little TV. He wants to get in the bath.
Yesterday.
So
yeah, Monday he did watch quite a bit of TV.
We don't watch a lot. We try not to.
I try not to turn it on.
Yeah,
but
it just depends.
He turned it on because I was building that dresser, cabinet, whatever it was.
So he was watching.
And so she put it on when I went downstairs, and then I would bring the drawers and put the handles on while he did it, and I'd go up and down the stairs and get them.
Their survey also finds that most people only feel comfortable about a third of the day, about 8 hours. Well, that's more than you just said. You feel the comfort about what, 3 hours, 4 hours in the morning, maybe?
Well, I feel it. I mean, all day today I've been pretty chill.
We still have a waterbed, so it's.
I mean,
I forgot to turn it down. Was you really hot? Because I keep forgetting to turn down the heat.
I lay in bed for a good half an hour to an hour though on those mornings, rather than jumping up and running around like a chicken with my head cut off. I mean, but today I've been kind of chill all day because I actually got breakfast, then I exercised, then I did the chicken, and then I started working in the yard, and it started raining, so I came back in. And
you did get some stuff in the yard, though?
Barely any, because it started raining as soon as I got out. Well, it was sunny, and it was supposed to rain, and I thought, it's not going to. Well, then as soon as I went outside, then it turned rainy.
Yeah, it started raining.
And then so he came to work on the shower, and I left.
This survey was conducted by CERT. Yeah. You went to Gabe's again?
Mm-hmm. Just to see if they had got any toddler tanks in. They didn't.
The survey, but you bought something, you said.
Oh, yeah. It's hard to get through there without
What did you buy?
Something. I bought the shirt that I liked from there last time.
Oh. You may have to get a job, a stay-at-home grandma. You may have to get a second job besides the first job where you're going. You might have to work at Gabe's, which that wouldn't be good because your whole page would go back to Gabe's. That's not a good thing.
Well, yeah, as the kids get bigger, they'll need bigger clothes. I'm trying not to spend very much on myself, but they got bathing suits in, and that was a big. You
got another one?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
But
the survey was done by CERTA, which is the bed, and reveals that more than anything else, taking a nap is the top way respondents find true comfort. I had a hard time with naps.
Unless I'm so exhausted like I was this weekend from working so hard.
Oh, we were exhausted.
That I'm sleeping. But then when I'm like sit down and I'm falling asleep, sometimes I go and lay down and then I can't sleep.
You can't sleep. That's followed, after taking a nap, that's followed by taking a walk outside is relaxing.
Unless you're in the Pittsburgh neighborhood where you can get rammed because people come flying around the corner and there's not a sidewalk
in their neighborhood, yeah. Rounding out number 3 is, I said walking outside, having a spa day. Some people like to go to the spa. That's the top 3 ways. When temperatures drop, respondents say that they find true comfort in taking a hot bath, creating perfect temperature at home, which is 72 degrees Fahrenheit.
That sounds about right for me.
That's about
And
where
the
we
bath thing was how I did when my kids were little. If I needed Calgon, take me away. We
Yeah.
used to take a bath when you'd come home, and I'd just be like, okay, after dinner, I'm going to get a bath.
Hey, this dog in Florida, I thought you'd get a kick out of this. They named him Shamrock because he actually was green. His fur
What's green?
was green when he was born. And he's been an internet sensation, but that was temporary. The green coloring
Went
was
away.
temporary, yeah. He was born on March 3rd, and he was already dressed for St. Patrick's Day because he had a green. When he came out, I wish I had the picture. I had a picture, but I can't find it. And he started posting pictures of all these puppies. They were, I think they're, it doesn't say, I thought it said Golden Treasures Kennel. I was trying to see what kind of dog. I thought it was a golden retriever, but I'm not positive now, so I could be wrong. Anyway, the dog was green when it was born, but said that his fade, he's already started to fade. Some of the green is gone, but I wonder if he'll keep the name Shamrock. I think that's a good name for a dog.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not? I mean, what makes a difference?
Sheldon, Shamrock.
Wouldn't it be cool if he stayed green, like an alien dog? That'd be kind of cool, I think.
It'd be cool to have a
You know what I mean? Something odd.
I like different things.
That would be different. Have a green dog.
It's like having one pointy ear like Titus and one floppy ear like Rigby.
Right.
That would be like an odd thing to have.
Just something
you know what
weird.
I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Like you're crossbred dogs and you don't know whether they're coming out pointy or floppy,
All right, we come back. We're going to talk about fubbing. Have you done any fubbing lately?
Fubbing?
Yeah, have you done any?
I don't know.
Also, I'll talk about people that can't recall the last time they wore pants. We'll talk about that. And how much is your pet worth?
What do you mean they're working from
Did
home?
we talk about this, the pet?
Oh, no.
How much it's worth?
Mm-mm.
So
some people would say millions.
Yeah, so we'll talk about
they
that.
love their pets.
And whatever else I can conjure up to discuss. And we'll do all that next. So you want to start a podcast. Maybe you're listening to the show today and you're thinking to yourself, boy, that would be fun. And I have a lot of things I want to talk about. Maybe today is the day. Maybe you're looking for a new marketing channel, or you have a message that you'd like to share with the world, or you just think it would be fun to have a talk show. And it is a lot of fun just talking to your friends. Maybe you have ideas about sports, life, or whatever your passion is. Today's the day. Podcasting is easy, it's inexpensive, and it's a fun way to expand your reach online. And where should you go? Buzzsprout. It's hands down the easiest, and it's the best way to launch, promote, and track your podcast. And your show, believe it or not, can be online and listed in all the major podcast directories in minutes, like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcast, and you wouldn't believe how many more there are. And they make it simple to join all of them. Podcasting is not hard when you have the right partners, and Buzzsprout is the team to join. They are passionate about your success. You can join over 1,000 podcasters already using Buzzsprout. We're one of them. We've been on Buzzsprout from the beginning, and I'm so glad I joined up. I had a little bit of an issue, emailed a customer service rep, and they got back to me within 5 minutes, and they had me calm down. It wasn't that hard, and what I was doing was my fault. So here's all you got to do. Click on the link in the show notes. It tells Buzzsprout we sent you. You can support our show, and if you get a paid plan, you get a $20 gift certificate from Amazon. Now, here's some other things that Buzzsprout provides. Like, you get a great-looking podcast website. Now, a lot of people think, oh, I got to get a website, got to pay for that. No, you don't. They provide it for you. Also, they have audio players. Maybe you have a website, and all you want to do is promote your show on your own website. You can do that with their audio players, and you can also drop it into other websites and on Facebook or Twitter, and they help you do it all. Believe me, Buzzsprout is the way to go. They've helped me immensely, and I've had a lot of fun doing it. So maybe today is a day for you to start your podcast. And if you do, check out the link below in the show notes and get a $20 Amazon gift card. They were doing this, I just saw this. How long should you spend sitting, sleeping, standing, and exercising each day? Apparently this was revealed by scientists, this Australian researcher. said that if you stand for 5 hours, that was vital for optimal health. Now, of course, this is tough for people that have a job where, unless you get one of those standing desks.
That's
right?
what I needed.
Standing desk.
Because I sat too long when I was working.
Right? I mean, that would make a difference, the standing desk.
Yeah, because then you could, stand for half an hour, whatever you felt comfortable with, and then you could sit for half an hour, whatever you feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I shouldn't sit for too long, so when my watch beeps that I've been sitting too long, I could stand for a while.
Well, I think all these, it's funny, you do these studies, and my foot's falling asleep. You do all these studies, and I need a desk. And it's like some of these things, like what they were talking about, that if you stay stationary for too much of the day, it risks numerous health problems. Well, of course it does. If you sit on a chair for 6 to 8 hours, 10 hours a day, first of all, your butt's going to get real wide. You're going to gain weight, right? I mean, it's just it's unless you're able to get up and move around. You also could have type 2 diabetes. You could develop cancer, maybe even early grave, just by sitting too long. But some jobs, you're kind of confined to a cubicle, and you don't get that. So this team said that we should aim to sit for just 6 hours a day. So if 6 hours a day, okay, well, that seems like a long time.
Let's see, and then the school district, they only 7.25 is all they paid me for, 7.25 hours a day.
So they want you to sit for 6 hours a day.
So I got my half-hour lunch, which I walked on. I walked my lunch.
Right. Then they want you to exercise, like household chores, making dinner. That's another 2. So
2
like
hours.
2 hours. How do you do 2 hours for that? And when it comes to sleep, you know how much sleep we're supposed to get. 8 hours and 20 minutes.
8 hours and 20 minutes.
Is key.
A lot of people do a lot less than 8 hours, though, I think.
Yeah, I think they do too. So then they said to stay healthy, if you're 19 to 64, you should do at least 150 minutes of moderate aerobic activity. And that could be cycling.
150 minutes?
Yes, which is more than an hour and a half.
I don't exercise.
No, it's 2 hours.
Today,
it's over 2 hours.
Today I walked. I have quite a few steps today.
60 minutes is an hour.
I have 8,600 steps.
So you're talking
already.
2 hours and 10 minutes. No, that's more than that.
So my half an hour walk isn't near enough.
2 hours and 30 minutes.
But see, I usually did my stretches and strengtheners in the morning and then a half an hour walk. So that's like probably an hour. But
it's every week.
Oh, okay. And
then every week. So 150 minutes. So if you add that up, okay, 150 minutes, 2.5 hours, a little bit more. And then they want you to do strength exercises on 2 more days that week to, work all the major muscles. So you do a leg day, an arm day, maybe a hand day, something, whatever you got to do to keep the weight down. 75 minutes, you could do that, or you could do 75 minutes of vigorous aerobic activity. That's running or tennis. Strength exercises 2 or more days a week. Again, or you could do a mix of moderate and vigorous aerobic activity every week. 2 times 30-minute runs plus 30 minutes of brisk walking equals 150 minutes. So you can do a lot of different things to get back in shape. So yeah, that seems like a lot, but the walking thing it's easier now, isn't it? You can go outside, and we've been walking around this house trying to clean everything up. Tomorrow you'll cut some of the grass, and I'll cut some of the grass. That'll get some of our walking in. It won't be long if we get these 80. I wonder if it's going to be a hot summer, because we are in the 80s. It was hot yesterday. It's a nice day today. It's supposed to be in the upper 80s next couple of days, so it's nice. You still awake?
It'll put me by the pool.
Put me by the pool too. I got to ask Terry if she's done any fubbing lately. Have you done any fubbing, Terry?
Yeah, you asked me that right before the break.
Have you done any fubbing?
I have no idea. I might have fubbed earlier.
Okay. Okay, now I want you to picture this. Ready? You've had a long day. It's very stressful day at work. Or maybe not at work, but just stressful day. Yeah,
kids
deadlines.
are sick and they just
different conversations,
cooperate.
endless to-do lists. You make it home and you want to unwind and you want to connect with your partner. So what do? Well, you share with your partner the highlights, the lowlights of your day. And then you notice something as you are talking to your significant other.
That they're not paying attention.
You know what that's called?
Fubbing.
It's called fubbing because their eyes are drifting to their what?
Phones.
Yes, their phones. Their thumb scrolling through some irresistible feed. Suddenly,
Or they're playing a game.
you feel less heard, less supported, less important. Is this familiar to you, ladies and gentlemen? I
They're
hope
playing
not.
a game over there.
Well, we see it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We do. We see it all the time. You can see it in restaurants. You see it where our kids aren't connecting. We're constantly on our phones. It's the ruination of our country.
relationships.
It really is, of relationships. I think that it's taken away.
I mean, people don't call you anymore. They text you if they need me. Like, I didn't get a text this week to see if I was needed for Wednesday.
I think it's taken away our communication skills. It's made it worse.
Oh, yeah.
A lot worse. This is called fubbing. It's phone and snubbing put together. And they did this study, the Journal of Occupational and Organizational Psychology, and it's just frustrating. It's, because you're coming home, you just want your significant other to give you, I don't know,
Some
10,
feedback.
15, 20,
Mm-hmm.
30 minutes without looking at the phone. Researchers discovered that the positive link between one partner's support and the other partner's receipt of that support was weaker when the receiving partner engaged in more fubbing behaviors, especially at home. Being glued to the phone seemed dull to the benefits of the spousal support, which we need. People need to feel like that you're paying attention. And if you're wondering why you're not having any, let's see, what's another word? Relations. I was hoping I could find something with fubbing. If you really want to be fubbed, that's not the same thing. Unless you're getting on your phone. That's just disgusting. Looking at some fubbing on your phone. I'd rather have the relationships. I'd rather have the connection. Now, there's times that you have to make time. I think that's the biggest thing.
Making time for each other.
You have to make time. Am I keeping you awake? You all right over there? You got tired all of a sudden, I noticed.
Yeah.
Is it maybe I should turn the lights on?
No, the sun went down and out of the window, and that just made me.
Well, it's dark. I didn't turn the lights on because I thought
because the sun was shining in when we started.
It was nice. It was a nice evening. I thought it was a nice night to do a podcast. I'm not moving a yard of dirt.
There's still some out there, though.
Yeah, not
because
much.
It started raining on me.
Yeah, but it's not much.
I only did 2 buckets.
Well, 2 buckets is 2 less buckets we got to do the next day. So, because I have this blister. See that blister?
I got one from mowing the other day.
You got to admit, Ralph did a nice job in front of the shed.
If it grows grass, we'll be in
It'll
good
be
shape.
fine. It'll be fine. So that's fubbing, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that I hope you don't have
Hope
to do.
you don't fub.
Maybe you can find a way to talk to your significant other and say, "Listen, can we put aside our phones for an hour?" Or you might have to start. You might have to start small.
Well, they're like 5 or 10 minutes.
Can you give me 10 minutes? Put your phone in another room for 10 minutes. Put it on silent.
Yeah.
Because if you
listen to me for.
Yeah, give me 10 minutes. I'll give you 10 minutes. There's 20 minutes of connection, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you can go at it. You know what I mean?
How was your day? But that's the first thing I say to you when you come home. How was your day?
And it's fine. I mean, sometimes I don't want to talk about it right away. Sometimes it doesn't matter. Most days, it's fine. It's all good. I'm blessed.
I think you like your job.
I do. No? Oh no, I love my job. It's a great job. There's good days and bad days.
It's busy work. I mean, every job has its days that's not so great. I mean, that's why I don't understand some of the younger generation, that say, I don't know if I'm going to have this job. Well, it doesn't matter what job. You could change jobs. It's still not going to be perfect every day. Even if you like what you're doing, you're going to have bad days at your job.
Yeah.
There's days that things go wrong, and that's just how life is. I don't understand this generation that thinks that they have to really love what they're doing or whatever. They're walking, they're not going to do it. I'm like,
well, part of that too is even probably some of my fault with our kids, because I always say, do what you love to do, because...
Well, yeah, and if you can find something you love to do, but you're still going to have bad days in a job that you love. I mean, even if you love doing what you're doing, there's going to be days where you can't get a hold of the person on the phone, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a gimme.
I mean, there's always a day that doesn't go well. So just because you had a bad day in this position doesn't mean, that's not where you're supposed to be right now.
It's. I mean, I think you have to really think about what you want to do in life, and sometimes you find it, sometimes you don't.
And sometimes you have to build into what you want to do.
True. You got to.
Sometimes those positions just aren't available for you right now.
Well, I think the podcasting world is people think, well, I can make money on YouTube. Well, if you have the right, is it niche or niche?
Yeah,
niche. If you've got the right idea, it's going to takes a little while. But if Rhett and Link started early in their career, but they had the right ideas. The ideas
they had good ideas.
Were really good ideas. Something that had never been done. Now
and they were the first,
copied.
And now everyone's copying
Everybody's kind of
them,
doing it. I mean, we're even doing some of the stuff for our own benefit. Like
if we could get the things that but they're not in our area most of the time.
I think it makes it look like all you got to do, because even on YouTube will say, this is how you start. Well, the equipment itself is expensive. It's not cheap. I'd like to do video.
Mm-hmm. But then you need a camera.
You have to have cameras. I'd like to have at least 3. And they have this set where I could use one of both of us, and then 1 and 1. Or you have one of, like if we have guests, but it's expensive. And so I haven't done that yet. I haven't taken that leap. Would it be helpful? I don't know.
You never know.
I don't know.
Someone might not like our mugs.
Some people like to see what's going on and where we are, but it's I don't know. But you still have to have something that's going to bring them to you.
Right.
I mean, what I talk about isn't, it's not brain surgery. We don't do politics. We just talk about life, sort of, talk about our life.
Mm-hmm.
And we try to include our wonderful listeners that are out there that have stuck by us. And our kids.
Our children come in.
I want to get Zach on and talk about Vegas. We got to get that going.
Yeah.
And so I have some ideas.
If we can ever get him, because now he started another job too.
COVID-19 brought on a lot of stuff. And one of the things it brought on was people being able to work from home. And this survey said that 2/3 of remote employees can't remember the last time they wore pants. And I can tell you from experience when we had that COVID and we were only working maybe 1 or 2 days in the office. That was the greatest summer of my life. It was. I'm not going to lie. It was fantastic.
Oh, I loved it.
It was
then
fantastic.
I had to go back to work for 2 weeks, remember? And
Yes.
clean out lockers and stuff.
Yes.
Oh, and that sucked because everyone else didn't have to be there.
Right.
But those of us who's on the front lines had to be there to pass the locker stuff out the door.
They did this survey of 2,000 people. They were surveyed for the research. 80% said they spend 9 to 5 in their underwear, just their underwear. So they must not have to be on camera. Or if they're on camera, they just put a shirt on, no pants.
I would have pajama bottoms or something. Yeah.
Some stay in their pajamas. Or whatever comfy clothes they have. That's what they do from 9 to 5.
And they put a shirt on just so they look presentable, huh?
Another 70% prefer working remotely to commuting every day. Hey, listen, if you don't have to be on the road every freaking day in this traffic.
And you don't have to do the traffic, I would gladly.
Everywhere I went, the roads were closed coming home. They want to close roads when it's quitting time. It was all backed up onto the highway. Luckily, I was able to get over and shoot straight across and get back on the highway. How often does that happen? I could have gone down 19. I didn't want to go 19. That's further away from where I need to be. So I got on the highway and got it that way. But anyway, so you can't. I understand the commute thing. Especially if you're more than. What's the cutoff? 20 minutes?
Yeah, 20 minutes away or so.
Right, 20 minutes. If it's more than 20 minutes, it's a commute, right? I mean, that's
to me it is.
That's what I say. They also ask about how they're adapting to remote employment. And for many, old habits die hard. For example, a lot of people don't have to commute, but they're still late for work. Now, how can you be late for work?
When all you have to do is sign in.
You have to roll over and hit the button. Is that
turn it on?
Seems like it might be a little bit of laziness.
Maybe you go to the bathroom 10 minutes earlier, so you're done before you go.
Or you have a really good poop where you lose 2 pounds.
And,
and you're in there for a while. That could happen.
I mean,
especially
it could
when
happen.
You're relaxed, you're in bed.
Yeah, because I get in the store and it happens again. Then
did it happen again?
Mm-hmm.
Nuh-uh. Mm-hmm. So you got to.
As soon as I got into Gabe's.
Some would say
took me longer in there.
that working from home would lead to a drop in productivity. But actually, it indicates that the opposite. 70% said they've been more productive since the lockdown, and now that we've stayed that way for the most part. I think most people are back 3, maybe 4 days a week. 59% have taken advantage of their home work situation and have a midday nap. I don't know how you fit that in.
How would they not?
While they're on the clock.
I mean, I see Lauren has a lot of breaks, but she's trying to deal with a
7-month-old, 8-month-old.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes he demands nursing whenever she's on
or she's getting
call.
A snack for the next little spurt she's got to go. Some say it's 4 hours per week. They take naps while they're on the clock. 4 hours per week. I don't know if you want this to be out there for your employer.
I know.
To find out you're napping. Most of those nappers said their afternoon siestas made them realize they need a new bed. The bed isn't quite as comfy because they're home all day and they probably made it all lumpy.
I don't know. I had to go right back to work, so it didn't matter. I just had that couple months off.
Yeah, I didn't have that.
Off.
I didn't have that either. Also, they were saying that some people aren't just sleeping in bed. Some
I
say
didn't even have the whole shut off.
They work from bed for about 4 hours per day. Actually, working from
I
bed.
can see that. You could put your computer right next to you and roll over and check your emails and answer them first thing, and then go get
I don't know.
And then if you get a 15-minute break, that could be your shower time. You know,
right? It just, I don't know. I feel like if this gets out, then I don't know how you could say, well, working from home, I'm more productive. Well, you're sleeping 4 hours. Now, I will say this. I think this is important to say.
There's not as much socialization while you're at home.
That's true, too. That is true.
Because some people went to the break room and got coffee and stayed there for an hour every morning and didn't answer the phone and didn't do anything and left it all to the one who had to stick by the phone.
How much work is really done in the office? If you had to really pinpoint how much actual work you do in an 8-hour day.
I don't know. I
bet it's half.
But I was in charge of the door and the phone. So I had to answer. And it was a school. So you had
different.
I had to answer the phones. Parents were constantly calling and people coming to pick up or drop off kids. So I was constantly busy. I worked.
See, to me, school's different because you have a lot of kids with a lot of different, they have to go to dentists, they have to go to the doctors. Things pop up. You
grandparents come for
vomiting in the hallway. They got to come get them. Vomiting as they get off the bus.
Oh yeah,
it's constant. It's a constant. To me, it was just be a constant rollover of
it. It was. I mean,
that.
I worked that was my busy part.
But if you were in a work like in the bank, you had downtime.
Oh yeah. When I would
right?
at the bank.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We rotated the death list, which they called it, but it was like people who died, and that you got their name and their social security number at the beginning of the month. And so we would go through our files and make sure that there was no one with that name and social security number in that we needed to pull accounts for. And that way we could pull the accounts and have things ready when, whoever
Right.
was in charge of it would come in.
So I would just wonder how many hours, if you had to sit down and be honest, I wouldn't say it out loud, but be honest about how many hours a day you work in an 8-hour shift. Now, some jobs are different than others. I mean, I don't,
when I was at the bank, Social Security Day and pension days, we were,
You knew it was gonna be busier,
busy and
right.
you stood on your feet all day.
Right.
But then there was the other days, 4 days after that when you had a lull and you sat on your butt for 4 days looking out the window. And those are the days I would think, oh, I wish I could be at home right now. I got laundry to do. I could mow the grass. I would be sitting there looking out thinking, oh, I got 30 million things to do, and I'm sitting here doing nothing.
See, that's
but
where
they're paying me my hourly wage,
That's where I think it would help ease up some of the weekend was because that's the kind of things you can do. Let's be honest. If you're working from home and you put the dishes in the dishwasher and run it, or you put the clothes in the wash and you run it because you're there.
Yeah, or when you have 10 minutes, and if you hear your computer go ding, I got an email, you could stop in the middle of it.
It's no big deal because you come back to it.
Yeah, you could come back to it. And if you don't get back to it until 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, no big deal. It was just dirty laundry or dirty dishes. You know what I mean? It could be piled in the sink until you get to it.
A huge difference because then that frees up the weekend where you can actually do things with your family.
Laundry might be done by then. Yeah. Even if you only had time to put it in.
Yeah.
And you didn't have time, it's halfway done.
That's
and then
right.
that evening you throw it in the dryer and fold it. I mean, you have it at least started. You won't forget it because you started it.
Right.
So now you have to finish it,
So if you're not wearing pants and you're lucky enough to do that, well, then God bless you.
Yeah.
But if you're taking an afternoon nap, if you're still productive, then you still have your job, then
if you get all your work done,
Yeah. How much is your pet worth? Now, Terry, you love dogs. I like dogs. I'm not a lover, but I like dogs. So, how much would you
like them? Some of them you don't like at all.
I like dogs. I don't like them in my house, but I like dogs. I mean, I have 3, right?
4.
Oh, 4. Sorry, 4.
You have 4 grand dogs.
No, they're not grand dogs. There's no such thing as a grand dog.
Your kids have 4 dogs.
Yeah. Anyway, so we have 4. And how much would you pay out to save your pet's life? Now, I realize this is a very delicate subject.
But they only last, depending on the breed, they could last only 7 or 8 years.
70%.
And
How many? What do you think 70% of people said?
They would pay lots
They would pay any amount
that they
necessary.
needed to.
And our kids are in that category. I know, they had, when Anika was sick, they really tried to do as much as they could, but they also came to the realization of her age and where she was going. They realized this wasn't, it wasn't going to be
productive,
much more. They did do a lot, and God bless them. That's their,
I'm sure they had $7,000-8,000, maybe even more into her.
Because we've said this numerous times on the show, because we seem to really talk about pets, dogs, and that is, those are the extension of the family. It's their, their loved ones. If maybe the family lives away and they have their dog is their, number one thing. So 70% said they would pay any amount. 17% would pay up to about $5,000. That's their limit. 10% said $1,000. 3% said no more than $500.
Well, that's where Zachary was when Rigby got sick, because they didn't know if he ate something and had a blockage. And he said, heck, if he was going to spend $1,000 for him to go ahead and be a detriment to himself, but he didn't have a blockage. I don't know what was actually wrong with him. It just straightened up on its own. And I see his point. I mean, the dog has seizures. You're trying to watch everything he eats so he doesn't have them. But if he gets loose and, gets into things himself, then,
Yeah.
it's hard to put a lot of money into him when he could eat another sock tomorrow, which puppies do that. Usually they grow out of that. But there's some dogs that never grow out of that. And would you really pay for them to take one out of them and 2 weeks later pay for another one to be taken out? I mean,
that'd be tough.
I mean, you'd have to be very careful about everything you do in your house.
That would be tough for sure. All right, that's it. We wrapped one, Tara.
Oh, did we?
How about that? Because you were just saying.
Well, the sun came back in the window too.
Yeah. It did kind of perk us up a little bit.
I mean, it did. It perked me up.
It kind of.
It's a wonder what a little bit of sunshine can do for you.
Vitamin D does amazing things. I can't wait to sit by the pool with you. I'm excited.
I know, but I'll still be working part-time all summer, and I'm used to having my summers off.
Well, we'll have some. Yeah, that's true. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in. We appreciate that. Have a wonderful day. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook or Twitter at Just Talking Out Loud, TALKIN. Also, you can contact us. We're on YouTube now, so you can leave a message at the bottom of this episode, or you can also use SpeakPipe, which is still available. You can call it on your phone. There's a link. Push it. Hit the little microphone to leave us a minute
message.
Message. We'd appreciate that, or any type of message. You can also do it on Spotify. You can leave messages now. And I said Facebook and Twitter. Every Monday we have a new episode that comes out. And again, it's tell your friends, tell your neighbors, even if you hate someone, tell them too. Whatever you got to do. I appreciate it, because I'll be honest, it gets a little rough this time of year for me. I don't know why, but we'll have our summer.
Busy.
We'll do our summer, probably do every other week or something.
Or
it'll be our
shorter ones.
Or it'll be our short ones. Yeah, it'll be shorter. But thanks so much for listening. I really appreciate it. And we're out.
Have a great week.
Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed today's show.